G'day there. Good to see ya. This is Jesse Crow, the traveling scientist, hanging out in quarantine in Perth, Australia. Today's day 10. I've reached double digits. Finally. Nearly there, just a few more days. Stuck here in quarantine, locked in this little room. G'day, Eli. You're always in, aren't ya? Yes, I'm on day 10, which is sweet. Only a few more days locked in here. Only a few more stories to tell you guys, but I'm going live every day. G'day there, Kate. Going live every day at the same time. 11 a.m. West Australia time, 1 p.m. East Australia time, 8 p.m. Pacific time, and 4 a.m. if you're in the UK. I don't know if my UK friend's still watching at 4 in the morning, but anyway, going live every single day, telling these stories. My mum is here. Hi, Mum. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming and join me. Today's story is actually about how I got back on my feet. Yesterday, I told the story of how COVID struck. I lost my job, lost my home, lost everything. So I went and lived on a goat farm and shoveled shit for a while. And then that was kind of lame. So then I moved to Alberta and went mushroom picking, which was a failure. So then I moved to Saskatchewan, further away, to really try mushroom picking, and that was a failure too. And a bear drank all my beers and basically ended up giving up on all that and coming all the way back to Revelstoke and getting back to Revelstoke. That was yesterday's story. Today's story is what I did when I got back to Revelstoke, how I got back on my feet. I was pretty defeated after that failure of an attempt at life, but, you know, COVID ruined everyone's plans and, you know, we tried our best to survive. And, you know, it was a hell of an experience adventuring out in the middle of Canada. Like, I don't regret it. Just kind of sucked, but that's okay. So anyway, thanks so much for joining me. And now I'm going to tell you the story of how I got back on my feet once I got back to Revelstoke. So I got back to town. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a place to live. But what I did have in Revelstoke was a bunch of friends because I'd been there for the last winter. So I just reached out to everybody and I was looking around. Hey guys, thanks for joining. I was looking around, sending messages to see if anyone had a place that I could live. I was pretty desperate. And I did have one friend who had a house and he had a spare room. And he said, yes, you can come move in. I said, sweet, when can I move in? And he said, today. You can move in today. So I was there. Within a couple of hours, I moved into this house. Huge house. But it was shared with 12 other people. It was packed. And there was so many people in this house. And I had this little room. And, you know, during COVID, you don't really want to be interacting with too many people. But, you know, there was 13 of us there. So it was full on. North America misses me. Oh, that's sweet, isn't it? Anyway, I moved into this house and yeah, so I had a place to live in Revelstoke. That was a good start, but I'd lost a lot of money on my adventures to try and find mushrooms. I needed to make some money, so I went back to the Regent where I used to work and I walked in and my boss was standing in the foyer. And I walked up and shook his hand and he said, Jesse, do you want your job back? And I was like, yes, please. So, yeah. Getting my job back was actually super easy. Getting a place to live. Yeah, I got really lucky with that. So I was back in Revelstoke. You know, things were looking up. Things were starting to get positive for Jesse. But I was still pretty upset about the whole thing. And so I went over to the pub and I saw my friend Anita, who had gotten a job at the Regent where I used to work. And I was like, Anita, what are you doing here? And she was like, this is how I make money now, bud. Anyway, g'day, Cassie. So Anita had started working at the Regent and I told her my story about how I had goat farmed and shoveled shit and picked mushrooms and failed and got chased by a bear. And she was like, look, come for a beer with me and my friends later and it'll be fine. You can tell your story and it'll be fine. So I went and joined Anita and her group of friends. They called themselves the Corona Crew. There's actually 5 of them. There was Anita, Amanda, Natalia, Simon and Kev. And absolute group of legends. They took me in, really, and they said, Jesse, it sounds like you've had a pretty rough time recently, but we're going to make you feel better. You know what we're going to do? We're going to go camping. And I was like, what? I've spent the last 7 weeks camping and I've just come back to civilization, and you want to take me camping? But they were like, no, this will be fun camping. We'll drink beers, we'll go rock climbing, it'll be great. And I was like, well, I've never rock climbed in my life before. And they said, we'll teach you how. And anyway, they took me down to Skaha near Penticton, which, if you don't know, I didn't know, is one of the best rock climbing places in the world. And a really cool place to camp as well. And we went down there and we had a great time. I rock climbed for the first time ever, and it was awesome. Rock climbing is fun. You know, you get muscles and you get the adrenaline rush, and it's like solving puzzles and doing exercises at the same time. So that's how I got super into rock climbing and got to hang out with the Corona crew. But the problem was that the Corona crew was 3 girls and 2 guys, and the rules in Canada was you could have up to 6 people at any one time. So they needed one more guy to balance out the group. And that's how I got introduced into the Corona crew. And we ended up becoming a really solid group, and we hung out for the rest of our time in Canada. We would snowboard together, we would rock climb together, we did everything together. We had parties, went out for drinks. I really miss the Corona crew. Shout out to all you. Great people, and I hope we meet up again sometime. I'm sure we will. But anyway, outside of rock climbing, the other thing we did in summer was we went to the docks. There was this awesome place just outside of Revelstoke called the Docks, and it's basically just above the dam, and you could drive up there, and on a sunny day, you could just sunbake, and there was a diving board, and you could do flips into the water. The Docks was an awesome place to hang out in Canada, and so rock climbing every morning, swimming at the docks in the afternoon, and then working in the evenings doing cocktail bartending was pretty sweet. So, after having a terrible start of COVID and, doing all the crap that happened, it was really nice to get back to Revelstoke, get my job back, get a place to live, and get a solid group of friends. And so I appreciate everyone in Revelstoke who welcomed me back with open arms. I appreciate the Corona crew. You guys rock. And that was summer in Revelstoke. Ended up being really great. But eventually it started raining and it started snowing, and then we couldn't rock climb anymore, which is a bit depressing. So I decided to take up a new hobby, something a little more adrenaline packed. I started paragliding just a little bit, and that was insane. But you know what? That's tomorrow's story. Just going to keep it short today, guys, because summer was fun, but nothing super exciting happened. But yeah, tomorrow's story, I'm going to tell you all about how I ended up paragliding, which was also insane. And that's going to be tomorrow. I'll also tell you how I moved from a house with like 12 people to my own little place, which was really nice, and how we rolled from summer to autumn and then into another epic winter in Revelstoke. I'll tell you all about that tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this story. Feel free to send me a message or leave me a comment. Let me know what you like, what you hate. Let me know what you want to hear about. If you've got any questions for me, let me know. And I'll be going live again tomorrow. I didn't think of any parting advice or words of wisdom today, but I could probably pull one from somewhere. What do they say? The past is history. The future is a mystery. But right now is a... Past is the history, the future is a mystery, but now is the present. No. Past is a history, the past is the history, the future is a mystery, and someone's trying to... Mushroom farming needs more details, please. You'll have to watch yesterday's video to find out about all the mushrooms and the goat farming. That's on YouTube and Instagram TV. I've got to finish this quote. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But now is a gift. That's why it's called the present. I did it. Awesome. Hamish, you're too late, buddy. You're going to have to watch it later. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can watch all these videos on YouTube and Instagram Live. And I'll catch you all tomorrow at the same time. Thanks so much for joining me today. Enjoy the present. Cheers, legends. See you later.